Hello, SS2 students. Welcome back to your government third term scheme of work. Today we'll be talking about the last military regime in Nigeria. That's the last military regime that Nigeria experienced. We are going to talk about it, which is General Abdulsalami Abubakar's military regime. That was in 1998 to 1999. Okay, but before we start, please, we urge you, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do well to subscribe to our channel. And please click on that bell icon so that anytime we release a new video, you will be notified. So you get the value you are getting now. Okay, General Abdulsalami Abubakar military regime of 1998 to 1999. So the man became the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces after the death of General Sani Abacha, which was on 8 June 1998. Before the death of Abacha, he was the chief of defense staff before Abacha died. That means that he was one of the members of Abacha's PRC, that is executive, the members of the executive. So he was the chief of defense staff, which is Abdulsalami Abubakar. He was a member of PRC. But look at what happened. Abubakar terminated the 3-year transition program. Yes, that Abacha was planning. He terminated it immediately. So, in that initiative place, he initiated a 10-month transition program. Instead of 3 years, he made it 10 months program, in which he will return the nation into civilian rule, which his plan was 29 May 1922 to return the power to civilians. All right. Okay, let's look at the structure of the Abubakar regime. The PRC, which is Provisional Ruling Council, still remains the highest policy-making organ of the government, just like he followed the same way with his predecessor. He followed the same way with his predecessor, followed the same Provisional Ruling Council, that is PRC. Okay. They will have this man we call Admiral Mike Ahigbe. He is the chief of general staff. The man was his vice chairman. He is the chairman, while this man I just mentioned now was his vice chairman. Then they have other members, which is the chief of army staff. They will have the chief of air staff, the chief of naval staff, then the inspector general of police, and other divisional commanders. That was how he structured his regime. Okay, let's look at his return to civil rule. That is plan to return to civil rule, which was in 1999. Then this man Abubakar ruled from August 1998 to 29 May 1999. You know, his government already scrapped the existence of political parties. And he has a transition monitoring committee. Then he has the National Electoral Commission. He has as well the National Reconciliation Committee and the Devolution of Powers Committee, and cancelled elections which had been previously conducted. So that is where he did his own thing. All right. Okay, let's look at briefly how he moved. That is the highlight, the event. How he moved to civilian, how he planned to move to civilian rule. Okay, number one is that the government established the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is INEC. So it was this man, Abubakar, that started using the name INEC, which we are still using today, which is Independent National Electoral Commission. INEC, to register political parties. So he started registering political parties, voters, and he planned to conduct election. Then number two, under his plan was he held a public debate on the draft of constitution. You know, Abacha planned to do that, but he died before he could achieve it. So this man, Abubakar, continued. And that constitution was the constitution we are still using up to today. Then the third one was that the government considered and modified the provisions of the constitution. Yes. Then the fourth one was that local government elections were conducted on 5th December 1998. Then the next one, which is the fifth one, was that the contesting parties were the People's Democratic Party, which is PDP, All People's Party, which is APP. We have the next one, which is Alliance for Democracy, which is AD. We have other ones like People's Redemption Party, which is PRP. We have other ones as Movement for Democratic and Social Justice, which is MDJ. We still have this one, which is Democratic Advance Movement, which is DAM. We still have National Solidarity Movement, which is NSM. We still have United Democratic Party, which is UDP. We as well have the United People's Party, which is UPP. So that was how he transited to civilian rule. Okay, let's look at the achievement of Abubakar's regime. His achievement. Number one was that General Abubakar successfully conducted the transition to civil rule and handed over power to a popularly elected government. Number two was that he supervised a short and successful transition program of 10 months. And the next one was that the government set up a review panel for the 1995 constitution. Then the next one was that the Electoral Commission, INEC, offered provisional registration to 9 political parties, out of which 3 of them, namely AD, APP, and the PDP, were registered. Now let's look at this last one, that INEC under Justice Ephraim Akpata conducted elections into local government, state, houses of assembly, National Assembly, and the presidency. Okay, let's as well look at his failure, because any leadership must have one or two failure. Okay, number one, under his failure was the constitution was hastily produced. Yes, because that was the one that produced the 1999 constitution, so it was hastily produced. Number two was that the constitution contains so many ambiguities and contradictions. You can see it now. Then the constitution ignored the fundamental issues of federalism. All right, the government could not alleviate the economic difficulties facing the nation. That is, for example, the shortage of fuel and depreciation of the naira. So when Abacha left, everything started moving backward. So this man, Abubakar, could not sustain some of the things that he did. Okay, let's look at this last one, which is the administration was considered very weak. So it doesn't have a strong administration. Okay, before we just call it a day, since we have been discussing about military regime, and today is the end of military regime, discussion of military regime. But let's look at, before we end, we look at how to prevent military intervention in government, or how to prevent military regime from coming up in the country. Because when they come up, every citizen is now a slave. So let us discuss on how to prevent that. Number one was that the rulers and the ruled should comply with the provisions of the Constitution. The next one is there should be peaceful resistance to any attempt at imposing any form of military administration on the people. The next one is military rule should be outlawed in the Constitution. The next one is that all elected officials should display the attributes of good leadership. Okay, I'm making it numerical so that you'll be able to pick points. The fifth one is that political education should be carried out to sensitize the masses and the armed forces on the merit of democracy. The next one is that the judiciary should be independent, courageous, free, and fair in the performance of their duties. The last one is that bribery, corruption, and financial mismanagement should be eliminated from public service, and offenders should be exposed and punished according to the law. Okay, let me give out more too, which is politicians should accept defeat during election. When they win you as a politician, just accept defeat and go. Just like what Goodluck did. Is it 2004 or 2015? When Buhari won him, he correctly know that if he refuses, there may be a crisis. And when there is a crisis, the next thing is that the military men will take over government. So he peacefully stepped out, although the election was marred with malpractice, so many malpractice, but he peacefully moved out of the office because he knew that if he insisted, there may be some sort of bloody or military takeover of the country. Alright, so this is where we'll call it a day. You can do this assignment. Okay, these things are features of military rule in Nigeria. Dictatorial form of government, a highly centralized system of government. Okay, if you need this note, you can just contact us so that we'll send the note to you. We still have the consequences of military rule. One is keeping country together, maintenance of peace, creation of state, corruption, and so many of them. I already discussed structure of military destiny in Nigeria. Okay, so thank you very much for being in this class. Remember our slogan: pursue knowledge. What you know today is capable of helping you today and tomorrow. Please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, do so now. Thank you very much.